This is the Grow Your Clinic podcast from Clinic Mastery. We help progressive health professionals to lead inspired teams, transform client experiences, and build clinics for good. Now, it's time to grow your clinic.
Welcome to the Grow Your Clinic podcast. My name is Ben Lynch. Today, we're talking about the end of year checklists. As you come into the end of the calendar year, it's really important that you have some systems and structures in place to make it a sustainable and smooth transition into the new calendar year. I don't know about you, but it often seems like people lose their mind when you get close to Christmas and New Year. Patients forget appointments, come late, there's increased traffic, your teams start to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. It can be a chaotic time in the clinic. So it's really important to be on the front foot. And so what we've come up with is this end of year checklist where from the 1st of October, you've got a couple of months until Christmas and New Year. There's a few key items that you want to tick off to make sure that you are ready to launch into the new year with some gusto after you've had a well-deserved break with family and friends. I want to share with you a couple of the items that we have here, and it spans across a few different sections. The sections are diary planning, team, clients, brand, your network, and finance. A couple of the things that are really important to do in and around your diary are that you've clarified and communicated when your closure dates are for Christmas. Make sure you update your Google business listing and any social media components where you list your times, that you organize a New Year roster for your team members in the diary. You got the calendar set for bookings. Make sure you schedule next year's meeting rhythm and consider what worked and what didn't work this year so that you can get a better work flow into the new year. Make sure all of the team and your own annual leave is booked as far in advance as possible. Make sure classes and appointments are scheduled appropriately if they need to shift times or dates depending on closure times or holiday periods. Make sure you revise or update your 12-month plan. If nothing else, have a 3-month plan. 3 to 4 months to get your year started, because especially here in Australia, it's almost like people kind of get through January and all of a sudden, January 26th, Australia Day, is like when people come back online, and February is a short month, and all of a sudden we're knocking on the door of March and then Easter. So don't have a sluggish start to the year. Make sure that you're super prepared and clear on what you're going to be doing in the first couple of months. Things around the team are communicating the meeting schedule, organizing that end of year party or Christmas function, whatever you call it. Arrange gifts or acknowledgements for the team members. Perhaps it's a mini culture day to present the plan for the new year. Reconnect with the team, show your gratitude and praise. Look at what is your practitioner training schedule into the new year. Make sure that leading into the end of the current year, that your practitioners are really clear on what they're doing with their patients to navigate any leave that they have or where the clinic may be shut down, so that there's continuity of care and that patients continue to progress on their pathway to their goals. So that looks like management plans, upskilling and retraining on cancellations, did not attends, rebooking and recalling patients. Make sure that's front and center, especially as you go into the holiday period. If you're onboarding new team members, make sure that you finalize some of the key components to their onboarding so they get the best start. The catch can be that you get someone starting early in the new year and you're a little bit sluggish in getting things up to speed. Make sure they have the best possible start. With your clients, make sure that they're super clear on their schedule and in fact have their schedule booked in advance. Prepare any promotions that you might want to do in and around the new year, perhaps related to private health, perhaps related to a new year, new you focus, perhaps related to anything else that might be seasonal like school or summer or winter, whatever is relevant for you. Make sure you're thinking about those things prior to the new year. Consider what you might be doing around your network and saying thanks to them, recognizing them, connecting with those partners, professionals, businesses, schools, clubs, associations, networks, gyms, whoever it may be, to say thank you. Now, we do recommend that you do that consistently throughout the year in what we call the randomized system for referrer acknowledgement or partner acknowledgement. It seems random on the outside, but it's very systemized on the back end for you to maintain that connection that you have with them. But this time of year, December, January, great time to check in, say thanks, wish them all the best for the season and any holidays that they might be having. For your finance, you want to make sure that your dashboards are up to date, where you're tracking all of the statistics. You want to update any payroll changes for the new calendar year, if applicable. Finalize your budget and projections for the next calendar year or even just the next quarter. Reconcile all of your transactions. Get up to date so that you know exactly where the performance of your business is right now. You can add all sorts of things to your checklist, from cleaning updates to how you're going to run the business, aesthetics that are changing in your clinic, whatever it is. Create your checklist and have some reminder system, if you're using like Asana, Trello, Monday.com, whatever it is, to pop up into your calendar in October of every single year, where you go through this checklist systematically and make sure that you finish the year strong and launch into the new year with momentum. It can be a chaotic time, but it doesn't have to be if you have a methodical process at the end of every year. Hope you have a sensational day. Let us know how you go with your checklist. You can always email us here, either jack@clinicmastery.com or ben@clinicmastery.com, and tell us about this episode or another episode that's had a meaningful impact for you in your clinic. We look forward to speaking to you very soon. As always, continue to live with passion and serve with care.
Thanks for tuning in to the Grow Your Clinic podcast. To find out more about past episodes or how we can help you, head to www.clinicmastery.com/podcast, and please remember to rate and review us on your podcast player of choice. See you on the next episode.